Did you know today is International Safe Abortion Day? Yeah, there's no such thing as a safe abortion because every single abortion ends in the life of one human being killed, and it also can kill women. In fact, the leading cause of death in our world today is actually abortion, and the leading abortion technique is chemical abortion. Chemical abortion pills are actually have a 4 times higher complication rate than surgical abortion, nearly a 15% incompletion rate, meaning she will have to seek care to undergo a surgical abortion and could die of sepsis or infection if she doesn't know that, because the abortion through the pills doesn't fully happen and parts of the child or placental tissue remain inside of her womb, inside of her uterus. Chemical abortion pills also have a 10 times higher death rate than surgical abortion. I also want to mention, though, interesting fact, today is not only International Safe Abortion Day, today is actually the anniversary of the FDA's decision in 2000 to legalize chemical abortion pills RU486, which we know aren't safe per the stats I just gave you. What was interesting about when the FDA, after they fast-tracked approval of chemical abortion pills through the Bill Clinton administration, through funding from the Population Council, which is a eugenics group that wants to make sure that less babies are born, they actually even understood back then at the FDA in 2000 that chemical abortions were extremely dangerous. RU486 was extremely dangerous, and labeled it a black label drug, meaning that there's a black label in the drug and that these risk evaluation mitigation strategies, REMS, had to be attached to the drug. So when an abortionist would prescribe chemical abortion pills, he had to ensure that he had checked out the mother for certain pre-existing conditions and monitor the mother for pre-existing or developing conditions to make sure she didn't die. So anytime someone says chemical abortion pills are safer than Tylenol, no. When the FDA approved Tylenol and the FDA continues to reevaluate different strengths of Tylenol, they've never put a black box warning on Tylenol. They only put black box warnings on I think there's 80 drugs out there in America that black box warnings because they're so dangerous. They're so dangerous. It wasn't until the Biden administration came in using the COVID pandemic with the help of Planned Parenthood that pressured the FDA, the pro-abortion FDA, because remember, the FDA is under the Department of Health and Human Services. Joe Biden, as president, his purview of the president, appoints the head of Health and Human Services, who is led by Javier Becerra, a former abortion lawyer and congressman who's literally the abortion lobbyist in chief. He has nothing to do with healthcare. Why is he running all of our healthcare? Well, abortion. He's in charge of the FDA. And so now there's abortion activists in the FDA. You think that there would be something in the federal government that, was supposed to actually be protecting us. When they all came in, one of their first duties was to seek to end the black box warning on chemical abortion drugs, despite the fact that we know that chemical abortions, once they came onto the market, we know from Medicaid data in California, abortion-related ER visits increased 500%. And all the stats that we have on chemical abortion are bad news. Despite all of this, they've removed the REMS, and now chemical abortions can be mailed illegally, violating a long-standing law called the Comstock Act. They're being mailed illegally to homes near you. And it's all thanks to the Biden administration. And it's all thanks to a decision from the FDA pressured by the Population Council and the Clinton administration, and a bunch of eugenicists in the year 2000 on this day, September 28th, in the year 2000, to legalize chemical abortion drugs. Today is also thanks to the World Health Organization, International Safe Abortion Day, which we know doesn't exist.